Good afternoon and welcome to Q Questions, where each week we pull back the curtain on Q, one of the most powerful trial presentation platforms in the legal world. I'm Gene, your host, and joining me here each and every week is Robb, OnQ's Director of User Development and all-around OnQ guru. And for those of you watching on YouTube, welcome. If you have a question, you can place those in the comments, or you can go to the link in the description and you can join us right here in the studio. Activate your camera. We will bring you on stage and you can ask your question right here on video. Otherwise, again, leave those questions in the comments and we will be monitoring those. Robb will be answering those as we move through the show. We do this every Wednesday at noon live right here on YouTube. So make us a part of your weekly routine. Stop in, hang out with us. There's always something new to learn here on Q Questions. Right, Robb?
There is indeed. Glad for everybody to be here. And thank you all for being here. I know that, we have the live group that comes, and I encourage as many questions as you want to post in the comments. Please feel free to do that. That's kind of what keeps the show rolling. We have people who email stuff in, and I've collected questions over time to be able to put up. Scott Frank. Wow. Hey, thank you. That's a whole issue in and of itself as to why I have my glasses. They look huge. Somebody told me they look like 3D glasses or Metas, and they are not. They're just, my eyesight is so bad that the lens had to get bigger in order to compensate for everything going on in there. So thank you. I appreciate it. So we're gonna take some questions. Anybody that has one, I love when people come on. I love when they come live and answer questions. Not all of these are always on Q lessons. I mean, sometimes we have some things to do, but we can kind of go from there and figure it out. So fire away, Gene, take it. I don't see any questions right now, so go ahead and hit one.
All right. Well, we have got a question that was sent in. I thought was kind of an interesting question. How often do you upgrade your gear, Robb?
I'm going to assume they mean laptop, monitors, all that kind of stuff, gear that I would take into the courtroom. Now, not as much. I've not been in the courtroom in trial in a while. So since that's not part of what I do anymore, OnQ doesn't have its own trial techs. I mean, we're all trial techs, but this is what we focus on. I would upgrade my gear. I would upgrade laptop every year and a half or so, probably 18 months. I would upgrade, my main rig. I would try to circulate though too, because if I had a main rig and a backup rig, my backup rig did not get as much pounding as what my main rig did. So I could easily dump my main rig, use my backup for maybe another 6 months, and bring another new machine into the fold. So it was always kind of a rotation. Monitors, I never cared. I would buy those cheap, Asus monitors or whatever just to stick on the tables. But then, courtrooms started to get wired. And so my whole thing was I didn't want to have to carry gear anymore. So I lowered as much as I could. So I didn't replace a lot. That's a long-winded answer.
Rotation's where it's at, man. That way your backups doesn't get old and outdated if you keep rotating them out. So that's the smart way to do it. And I mean, I know you're not out there, hot seat, and you're not in the courtroom like you were, and that was where the excitement was. But, I know we can't go into it. But, man, I see how excited you get with the training and finding new and exciting and inventive ways to train people. And
I don't mind going into it. I don't.
Let's talk about that, man, because that's the news of the day, man. And I know this has been an exciting week for you and all the training team.
Yeah, we figured out a way. I'm not going to show it on the screen yet. It's certainly got to go through a few more back end tests, but we're going to have a way now to do our training where or help. I mean, if we need to help somebody or there's some kind of training that's going, we're going to have a way now where literally all you have to do as the user is hit an IP address through your web browser. It's just going to be like you know, and when I say IP address, I mean an address, right? So you're going to hit like something dot on cue dot whatever. All right. So you're going to go to that address and it's going to come up and it's going to say, enter your username and password. We're going to give you a username, give you a password. You're going to open it up and it's on cue, already running on a machine. You're looking at it. I'm looking at it. And when I move my mouse, you see my mouse move. But not only that, when you move your mouse, it will move the mouse. We are both looking at the same instance of on cue, no matter where you are in the world. Okay. And the speed of it, you got to experience the speed yesterday, Gene.
Yes.
We had probably 7, 8 people in and out connecting, and you know, the speed was incredible. And so then we also have a way for our advanced students that are doing advanced training. We're now going to have a way for them to connect to their own machine, which is not their own machine, but their own on-cue machine that we provide, right? And they log into it. And when they log in, put in a username and password, they're all connected with their own instance of on cue. They're all connected to the same database. So now you're in a networking environment. And we're going to spend the rest of a training in the networking environment, and all trainings that can be done in that environment are going to give the users ability to interact more with the program and not even have to have it on their machine, or they've got me on one screen and they're watching what I'm doing or what Max is doing, and then they're working on another screen. They no longer have to do that because of the way we've set this up. And it's absolutely fabulous. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to look for probably a few people that are interested in doing, you know, just maybe a 2 or 3 hour training with me, completely free, 100% free. And I want to get like, you know, 5, 6 volunteers that want to come sit through a couple, 3 hours of just training over stuff. And let me test this thing with the real world. We haven't put it out there to the real world yet. And so that's where we are. It's something we're doing. I'm really excited about this. And this could go on into bigger and better things later.
Yeah.
We don't know if the technology's there yet, but we're always researching. We're always looking for better ways to do things. So virtual machines on a server, and then you can jump into the individual VMs as the instructor, right? No, there are no individual VMs at all until we get to the advanced level. It's on this, everybody's on one VM, and it doesn't slow it down at all. It's just crazy. I was just kind of answering that question for Scott, but anyway, so that's kind of where we are. That's where we're going. Yes, I'm excited about it. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and we've gotten it to work now.
Yeah. And you really didn't know that aspect of it was even possible. So that was just kind of something that was discovered along the way. And so, man, I mean, people, I mean, you know, if you've been out there training and you're just watching a video, you're just watching Zoom or whatever, and you're just trying to take this in. And if you're having a one-on-one, then they're asking you, well, what do you have on your screen? And you're having to ask them, well, what do you have on your screen right now? Well, all that's out the window because you're both seeing the same things. You're touching the same things. You're opening. Just amazing stuff.
And it eliminates Zoom having to share. It eliminates having to hit the share screen. It eliminates all of that and it eliminates me having to send an XML file to you. You have to import the XML in order to see what I have and see what I just did. Now I can just do it, and we can all do it on the machine, and we can deal together with everything. And so it's huge for the user development area, but I put that Jason, not at all, not in one iota, not one bit. I can't be any more direct about that. We actually have an AI policy or something or whatever, and it's not a policy, but it's something that is our AI, whatever we give to firms and people like Department of Justice and people like that, and we are not in that game at all.
If I could just say this right now, Rob, I've got to see these guys in action, some of these programmers and some of these techs that OnCue has in action this past week, from when this whole, you know, idea that you had became formed as an idea and these guys started working on it. We don't need AI to work on our software, dude. We've got guys that are so smart. They know this stuff. They're out working AI every day, man. Like, no, we don't need that. Like, these guys are
and I mean, I'm not dumb enough to sit back here and say, we're not at some point AI is not going to be a part of a product. I mean, I don't know that. And I know I embrace AI personally. Used properly, I'm a huge fan. Don't get me wrong.
No, I mean, not knocking it, but just saying, like, you
Yeah.
know,
But
it's
at
not
the
a
same,
necessary thing.
yeah, it's not necessary for us to use it. And I'm not fool enough to think that someday in the courtroom somebody's going to walk in and say, you know, Alexa, pull up exhibit 1, go to page 3, highlight, zoom in on the second paragraph and highlight. I mean, do I think that's going to happen? Sure. I mean, at some point it's got to become that way. I mean, that's what this whole thing is building to. But I don't know that On Cue right now is ever going to be any part of that. You know what I mean? It's right now, you have too many variables and too many firms out there. The more you're using AI, the more firms are scared of it. You know, we're in the legal field, guys, and we move, 10 years behind technology from the firm side. Law firms adopt late. And so courts adopt late in the game, and that's okay. And so I think it's going to be a long time before AI is involved in that kind of thing. I think for review and coding, I think it's great. But we're a presentation software. That's what we do. We're a presentation software, and we can organize data inside of your cases, right? But we're a presentation software, and that just doesn't need AI, and certainly doesn't need AI in development.
Thanks for the question, Jason. Now, here's one that we got through email, and this is just kind of a fun question, and just one of those things where you can share your experience, and maybe it'll help somebody avoid a pitfall, or they just kind of relatable. What is one of the worst things that has ever happened to you while hot seating?
Oh, I can tell you. Hang on. Here. Who's this? This is why we're live, folks. This is why we're live. So this happened in 2020, before COVID. The boat was still out in the water when this happened. I remember that because it was all over the news. We were in my partner Jason and I were in Lone Oak, Arkansas. We had been doing a trial. This was a contract case over some rice and stuff. A lot of money involved, big time deal. And this is a lesson for everybody. Okay. My worst experience took 27 years before it happened. So there you go.
Wow.
And so we're doing this trial. We'd been in trial about 6 weeks at this point. We're working for the plaintiff, which is a bunch of farmers collectively in a group. And they had spent millions of dollars just getting ready for this case and to try this case. And we were about to run a deposition. And this deposition, they were going to run we were running the designations. It was our witness. And so I had printouts. I had done the initial designations, and then they would give me a printout. They would put the time and date. And then this printout would have things crossed through it where I could go in. They would take the on cue report and they would cross out what they wanted me to remove. So there was an order at the very beginning of this trial that there would be no mention of the term Ponzi scheme ever to be mentioned in the trial, because that's what we were dealing with, essentially, was a low-level Ponzi scheme.
Right.
And so, but we couldn't mention it because the prejudicial value outweighs the probative value. Okay. So I get this is on a Tuesday night. I get this report. It's my last one because we're going with him the next morning. So we're going to go to final off of this. So I go through, and there is a binder clip. Everybody knows the black binder clip with the two metal gimmicks that come down. There's a binder clip on it. I'm going through it, okay? And I'm hacking away, going through it. Now, I'm turning the pages this way, up like this, okay? You see that top right there? Okay.
Yep.
When I'm doing the pages, Gene, I miss that top being crossed out in red pen. Okay.
Oh.
It was 2 lines that said, wouldn't you consider this to be a Ponzi scheme, just like Bernie Madoff or whatever it said? Okay.
Mhm.
So I finish, I print my report, I send my report to the entire trial team. Review it. This is what we're going with. I hear hiding her hair from anybody. So the next day, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. We're going to now run this witness. We're running the witness. Everything is fine. I guess everybody's going through it, reading it as we're going. And it was no sooner than I flipped the page, I looked up, oh my God, I turned, and it says, all we hear is Ponzi, and I hit the space bar and immediately hit escape. Defense attorneys, collective group, jump up, Your Honor, moving for mistrial.
Mm.
They let the jury go. It's now about 4:15 in the afternoon. The farmers all have no idea what's going on. Lead counsel says, we'll meet you back at the office. I'm packing up. Lawyers are giving me the daggers. I am like, dude, that was not crossed out. Luckily for me, I have all the reports that they've edited, so I can go back and cover myself. So I said, we've got to run to the house. So we run to the house where all of us are staying at this big, humongous house. And I go in, Gene, and dude, I'm shaking right now telling the story. I go in, Gene, and I pull that binder clip off and I start flipping, and there it was, pretty as you please, X'd out. I missed it. Buddy, I had to go back in that conference room and tell everybody that that was my fault. And not only is this my fault, the judge is now taking it under advisement to think about it tonight, whether or not he is going to grant a mistrial. Millions of dollars spent. So put your insurance carrier on notice, because you're about to get sued, and they're going to have no choice but to sue me. However, at the end of the day, it's the attorney's responsibility to have gone through my final report that I gave them to say, hey, you missed this. At the end of the day, that's what would have happened. Dude, this one got me so bad. I'm tearing up a little bit about it. Basically, I knew I missed it that night. I was damn near inconsolable. Dude, I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran in the game, man. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't make rookie mistakes like that, and I did. I think I threw up twice. We went to court the next day. We sat at the plaintiff counsel table. They had me at counsel table because they don't know if I'm going to have to testify now. They don't know if they're going to have to proffer testimony of how this all happened. The judge, God love him, he got up there and he said, number one, this should have been reviewed by the attorneys before he ever pushed play. I've heard what happened. Mr. Helt, everybody makes mistakes. Your motion for mistrial be denied. We're going to keep moving forward. And to be honest, I think the jury was half asleep anyway, according to my court reporter. So that'll be denied. Let's move on. Call your next, or let's finish the video. Dude, they had to give me a couple minutes, man.
I was like, have you ever wanted to hug a judge's neck more in your life?
Dude, they're all coming up to me, giving me hugs. Jason Benzie was in the courtroom with me. They're giving me hugs. They're, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I'm crying. Oh, man, that one hit. That one hit hard. Hey, there's my friend Ezram. You know what? That guy right there, Ezram has been around. I've known Ezram since I was a baby videographer in this business. I've known Ezram. Yeah, dude, I was scared. And I don't know, that one rattled me. So to answer the question and make this show longer than it probably needed to be, that's the one that got me. So the lesson is, always check, man. Double check, triple check. I made a rookie mistake, and that one, and they love me. You know, I mean, hell, they sent me all these farmers send me Christmas cards every year, you know, but they would not have loved me had that gone the other way.
Bet you pop those clips off every time after that, right?
Man, bro, I viscerally feel that story. Like, dude, it was bad.
Like Esram said, it comes through the screen, man.
I'm on the phone with my wife, you know, and I tell people all the time, there are not a lot of mistakes you can make in trial that I haven't already made. I've made them, stupidly or not. I've made them, and so yeah, I've been there, and you know. Yeah, man, it's, you know what? Yes, you're sorry it happened, and I feel so bad for it, but it also makes you understand and appreciate, hey man, sometimes slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Slow down. And I was in a hurry. I'll be honest with you. I was in a hurry. We had 100 things going on, and I made a huge rookie mistake. And so, but I owned it. And once it happened, I owned it, and I'm a pro, and it bothers me. It makes me physically ill when that happens. So yeah, man, there you go. You know better to pop questions like that.
Hey, thanks for sharing that. And hey, thank everybody, all you guys that are here watching this live. Thank you very much. We appreciate y'all. Thanks to our buddy Corey McLean for sending that question in.
Corey, I haven't talked to Corey in years.
I know, right? I have a feeling he knows that story, right? There wasn't an accident that he asked you that. He knew there was a lesson to be learned there for our viewers and listeners. Yeah. So thank you very much, Corey. Thank you guys. And man, I think it's on that note, man, that was pretty heavy. I think it's about time to wrap it up.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Every Wednesday right here at noon, join us for Q Questions at On Q Tech YouTube channel. Thanks.